Hi everyone, as the leaves continue to turn and fall, I'm going to walk you through my October setup and give you some tips for creating a journal that is tailored to you. So make yourself a cup of tea and cozy up as I share my few improvements since my very first setup. And hopefully this will inspire you to create new ways of journaling. If you're interested in my journal, you can find a link to the super simple DIY tutorial in the description. I loved my September setup and the storybook feel, so I kept the theme going for this month. I didn't end up using my trackers as much as I wanted, really filling in my calendar, which is more my fault and not the setup. I didn't keep up with the milestones as much as I wanted as well, but I'll try to do that this month. And I definitely didn't like the format of my weekly setup. So I changed a few things and moved things around to help make the journal work for me. Which leads me to tip number 1 as I start my inking process. Don't be afraid to change things up and be creative. There are beautiful trackers and setups out there, but in the end, you'll need something that will make it easy for you to use during the month. So take things here and there and build a journal that suits you. I am pretty sure I'll be changing and adding a few things next month as life changes direction on me. So as you can see, I sketched out my layout again to save us some time, and now I am just filling in with my micron. For the cover page, I decided to continue the storybook magical woodland creature theme into October, but make it more appropriate for the season of fall. Instead of doing blooming flowers, I added more focus on the leaves and stems, but I can't really stop drawing flowers, so you'll see them here and there. Here we have a cute little owl sitting on a mushroom as the wind picks up and swirls the leaves in a magical way. Underneath, I put October in the same made-up font as my last setup, using various line weights to make it look good. Next up, I changed it up a bit and went right into my table of contents. I have the title on the left page with pumpkins, leaves, and flowers underneath. On the right, I added a garland, the page numbers, and then the description of the section right next to it. I actually had to finish my entire setup, then go back and pencil these in. So tip number 2 is that it is okay to keep things the same. I felt this weird pressure to create a brand new layout with new trackers, new everything, but then I realized that I wouldn't know if it worked for me. And I also forgot that this is a functional journal I am creating and I need to make it so that I will use it. So keep things the same if they are working, especially the main skeleton of it. As the months go and seasons change, add some decorations that changes it up a bit, but bottom line is, it is okay to have the same general layout. Moving on to my 3-month calendar spread, I kept the title at a glance and then added a little quote underneath, have a little faith. Added some foliage up at the top with some fall leaves gently floating down, and then on the right I made this month larger up top and the next 2 months down below a little smaller. I brought in my September fox here, sleeping as usual with some leaves and flowers surrounding it to tie it back to last month somehow. This setup was just perfect because it helped me plan out my month and to also see what the weeks are going to be like for the next 2 coming up. Next, I skipped a page and then added my description for this month. I wanted to create a break between the cover page, the table of contents, and then the 3-month spread, so info pages, and the actual spreads that will require me to fill in info during the month. So it kind of acts like a divider and a beginning mood page. This is a month of exploration, with a gradual but dramatic change in seasons, colors, and temperature. Well, in most places, I think it is a physical proof that time is passing, which makes it the best time to explore and to try to take in the present moment. I know this is a little deep, but I am excited for this month as I cast fear aside and strive for my goals. And then underneath that, I have a great quote that says, "You can never cross the ocean unless you have the courage to lose sight of the shore." Moving on to my monthly calendar, again I have monthly up on top and then a fallish garland going across. Underneath that is my monthly setup with each square being about 1 inch, and then I have my goals on the right hand side. This month I want to build my website, work out 5 days a week, build my collection, have more faith in general, and hopefully run a 5K. This way I have a little reminder to reach these goals as I go through the month. Now onto a new spread called My Daily Routine. One thing I realized with my trackers last month was that it was overwhelming for me to have so much space to fill up. There are times where I didn't keep up with it, so the spread sits empty and it's really discouraging. So I just wanted to keep it simple and more like a reminder for me to do things that I should. More like a guideline versus a pressure-filled test. On the left, I have a little bunny taking a nap on a tree stump with some more leaves and flowers, and then underneath I have the words daily routine. On my right, I have my general schedule in this super simple format, and then underneath, don't laugh at me, but I thought it'd be clever to turn tracker into a pun as try-acker. It's essentially what it is. Each day we try to work out or drink more water, and sometimes we just don't do it, but we tried, and that effort should be noted as well. It's a simple grid with 2 keys underneath tracker, one for complete and one for tried. There's also more boxes than there are days in the month, so either way it won't be filled up, which takes the pressure off from filling it all in. I don't know if this is going to help you, but I am way more inclined to keep up with this versus a full page tracker setup. But I do admire so much those who can keep up with all the beautiful trackers out there. Moving on to my page of milestones, I have the title on the left, keeping it consistent with the storybook feel, and then on my right, I have a little squirrel making a wish with a giant dandelion, and again with the magical leaves in the wind. Instead of changing this up and doing a goals or a specific list of some sort, this is a little more open-ended. So whatever I am proud of or moments that I want to remember that are important to me in my journey, I'll write it here randomly or down a line. I think that every single moment has some sort of weight towards your life and your goals, so even if you haven't reached your goal, you've probably completed a few steps. And I know when I'm focused entirely on the end goal, I don't take the time to appreciate how far I've come. So this is a perfect way for me to write it down and focus on it for a brief second. Now, finally, I have my weekly spread. For the left, I drew 3 mushrooms and some cool looking flower leafy stems, I don't know what to call them, to tie the whole theme together. I was going to go back and add some color into this entire spread, but I really like how it turned out, so I'm keeping it black and white. And then underneath, I drew weekly and put to-do list underneath that. For my past weekly spread, I had it going across the page, each day being about 1 inch wide with the daily goal box to the right. There wasn't enough room to list out my tasks for the day, and I had to cram a lot into a little narrow box. So now I have good sized boxes and then a weekly goal instead. I have my days up on the left of each box, and now I'm just repeating that 5 more times for the 5 weeks of October. Here's the final flip through. I am hoping that the changes I made would help me along with my goals and use this journal as I want to. I will be working on getting this entire spread up on a shop, so follow me on Instagram to stay updated. Subscribe and give this video a thumbs up if you liked it and want to see more. I just realized that I only officially gave you 2 tips, but I still hope that this inspired you to explore your creativity. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!